Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back for another recording of Hearthstone. So a lot has changed, and boy did this episode sneak up on me too, because I was just not paying attention. The grand tournament has come and gone. We need to get 5 victories with the druid, and we need to get 2 tavern brawls, which means that we can just play druid here on the tavern brawls. I have released a series of 21 videos, all on the day that the grand tournament was out, showing all the new cards. So go check those out. I made a special playlist for them if you want to go see those videos. The Hearthstone deck tracker has updated, so now there is some new things in our display that I think probably the 1%, 3.3% is probably a victory, and then the 2 is probably 6.7%, but that might also be the times when I go first or second. And then below, I suspect that's number of cards left in the deck and number of cards I've drawn. But let's get into a game and not just sit here. I got a quest to do 5 victories in a tavern brawl, which is a kind of not the quest I want. Honestly, that's not what I want at all. I don't want to have to do a tavern brawl, which might force me into playing a specific character. In this case, it didn't, and that's so it works. But let's see. We're gonna use no deck here because we're doing a tavern brawl and we're using different cards. Hearthstone deck tracker just in its update also changed. Just popped up a pop-up confirmation I've never seen before. So I have no idea what the side looks like now. You might be seeing a ton of blackness on the side. I did try to fix that, but it may not be working quite perfectly. So Tavern Brawl in the Battle at the Crossroads, they give you just a custom deck. They make custom decks for each of the characters. Yeah, we're playing against a legendary guy, so he's at max level. I bought 50 packs, which probably the right amount, I think. I watched this video about what 50 packs would probably get you, and it was about half of the grand tournament. It gave me a significant amount of dust that that I then turned around and used to make more cards. One of the things on that was definitely a lot of people play this strategy where they craft golden legendaries, because in the first year Hearthstone like modified and took away and balanced the game on some of the things, but having golden legendaries for some reason didn't fix that, and that honestly makes no real sense. Let's see, if I gain this and then get 2, I could do just about nothing. So let's just do this, and then this, and then return. I don't see a reason to do that, because if you think about it, there's gotta be in some update, at some point, there's gonna be a way they can turn those legendaries down to what they want them to be. They're not gonna just always and forever allow a completely unbalanced game to be in the game. If they want it out, they'll get it out. It's their game, they can do that. At least probably legally and programming wise. So the thought of crafting all of that is silly. I'm still working towards a full normal collection, it's gonna be probably never, but if it ever does happen, it's gonna be a very, very long time before I would get to the point where I think, yeah, I can have everything in gold. And frankly, the gold is just too flamboyant for me anyways. So I crafted neutral cards, is about all that conversation was about, and we'll continue to craft neutral cards. I got some legendaries, and I followed my rule of turning those I got some goldens, not particularly just legendaries, but I followed my rule of turning goldens into dust to make other cards. So I think I got a significant amount. I feel like I got a significant amount of the Grand Tournament cards. And with the Grand Tournament cards now in the game, I can see a lot of more people playing those cards right now as it's fresh and new. And since a lot of those cards have to do with the fact that they get inspired when you use your hero ability, I am seeing a ton more people use this, come on, let me finish. I'm seeing a ton more people use their hero ability than ever before, which I think was the real goal of the game. Definitely the real goal, in my opinion, was that they wanted you to start using the hero abilities, because not very many people do use the hero abilities. There was a lot better cards. Some weeks you'll be provided a deck, some weeks... one of the little tips there when it was finding an opponent said specifically you don't get anything extra if you win multiple tavern brawls, which is great until they add the situation where you are stuck having to beat 5 tavern brawls. That's not cool. Alright, so what I want to do, let's just play this. It's unlikely a priest would have the ability to do 1 damage on the first turn. They've also, from what I've from what I've heard, and I guess this can be just labeled as a probably credible rumor, but I haven't seen it directly from a news source or anything, is that they're going to change, or they have changed, the way that the arenas hand out decks. Where the arena was before handing out goblins versus gnomes packs, it's now going to be kind of random. So you might get the Grand Tournament packs, you might get goblins versus gnomes, or you might get classic packs. And it might be a weighted random. That's my own speculation, but it is kind of a problem.
Bathe in flames.
Because if they had a nice setup, they had it where you were getting watch and learn, and I'm still getting watch and learn quests, which are, I love them, but I hate them too, because they take me a long time to find somebody online that day to watch it and then get it done and get another quest. I guess technically I have 3 to maybe 2 days to get it done before I'd be losing an extra quest, but it's not as simple as just winning a few games. In the Grand Tournament I rebuilt all my decks, and they're not great, but they're in Hearthstone Deck Tracker, and I just kind of want to play with them and think about them a little bit more. We are now also back into just where I want to save up money. So Unfortunately, that means we're not going back to arena rounds. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your opinion there, because I mean, I just don't see how I can. Here we go. Let's play this. Big copy of this.
Job's done.
And then the turn. I want to get back to 5,000 gold. 5,000 gold would be 50 packs for the next expansion, or if they do another single player adventure, which they might, it will be more than enough to build, to purchase that expansion. The
Where shall I strike?
other point of that is, if we start thinking, and it is going to be a single expansion, and we get up to 5,000 and we only spend 3,500, that's great news, because then that would be a place where we could start building up even faster. But what I'm almost certainly not going to do is play as much as I did before to get to 3,500. I have a lot of games that I want to get done. Let's see. Deal 1 damage and draw a card. I'll take that. Right now I'm in the middle of recording Sam and Max Save the World, which very disappointingly just crashes immediately when you try to run it on Windows 10, and from what I saw on the support forums, it seems like it's been doing that for a long time. So like Windows 7, Windows 8, maybe Vista even. I saw people saying put it in Vista compatibility mode, so it probably worked in Vista, but it doesn't seem like it has for any of the ones above Vista. And there's a hack to it you have to do, and then when I did the hack to it, it turns out, well, it doesn't have a high enough resolution that didn't do 1080p, which is because it's such an old game. So I have to play it, the hack puts it into a window. You can't play it full screen. And then I have to use a separate program that's not made by them called the Telltale Game Resolution Tool. And then that hacks it to give it, and I'm very loosely using the phrase hack as just a stupid way of explaining it. But it changes some settings in it to give it the
Job's done.
right resolution of 1920 by 1080, and then I have to play the game, and if I close the game it might mess up some of the resolutions and mess up my recording. I have to play it in a window, and since the window is 1080p and it has to be a window, so it has the X at the top and the minimize and the maximize and all of that, and the border, it's actually too big for my desktop resolution to be 1080p, which from my video settings means I have to basically turn it up to 4K. So I turned it up to 4K. Now the window's so small I can't see it because it's because the resolutions. So I have to then put the window in the middle of my screen, and since I'm using a TV as the monitor, then I go on my TV and I change the pixel size to zoom mode. So it cuts off a big chunk of the signal it's getting and zooms in to the center.
I wonder.
We could summon this. That's like destroy minion, your opponent draws 2 cards. Alright, we'll do that.
Time waits for no one.
And then what do I want to do? 6/6.
Behold
Alright.
the might of Stormwind!
So it's a big hassle and a big pain in the butt to play these games, which
Take this time to consider your past deeds.
oh, this one. Every time he heals, it's gonna summon a legendary minion.
None shall pass.
So it's gonna be probably weighted, but it might not be. It might be completely random. Well, what do we want to do? Deal 5 damage to a minion.
For the Alliance!
Kill that. Let's see. We could do this and this, or we can summon this.
Job's done.
In turn.
One shot, one kill.
So I'm trying to power through the first season of Sam & Max, which is called Sam & Max Save the World.
You know, take
And
candle.
the game itself was fine in
ready for
2006, although it is very repetitive in where you go and what you do, and there's a lot of stretching. It's a point-and-click adventure. There's a lot of points where you could be really, really confused about what you're supposed to be doing. If you just didn't know how these games usually work. There we go. So what do we want to kill? Do we want to kill this one? We could kill this one.
For
Go
the
ahead and kill
wild.
this one.
Job's done.
And end the turn. I probably should have killed this one too, because that would at least make him to do this. Oh, he's gonna summon so many leper gnomes. This is gonna just be the war of the leper gnomes.
Well played.
Okay. How can we do this? I don't think we can. We need to fill up his thing, because can't have any of my guys
For
die,
the wild.
or they're just summon a new leper now. So this one could attack this one and kill it, or 2, 4, 6, 8. Could, if they use all of those. Oh, Ragnaros. I don't know what happened, but apparently, for some reason, there's some free giveaway of a couple of games on Steam. I just was looking my other and it goes like 2 days left, and it's in my library, so I said, fine, install it, we'll play it. And then they're definitely not games I bought, and as far as I can tell, they aren't games. 2, 4, 6, 8. They're pretty good games. Or 6. So with 1 health left,
For the
1
wild.
attack and 1 armor, I don't think I'm gonna win. Just have a hunch here, I'm not gonna win with the 1/1 Wisp versus Ragnaros. But so I got them, and that'll be interesting if I can still play them in the next couple days, and I'll get into them and see if I can put them somewhere in the video. I'm still kind of in this situation where I want to get through the old games, and it's kind of both. That I want to get through the old games, and I don't want to run out of the old games. But to just randomly be given a game puts a weird situation as far as scheduling in my channel. Do I want to put a 6th episode out is the question. A 6th series out. I know some things I don't want to do. I don't want to stop releasing something that's already scheduled. I don't want to reschedule something that's already been scheduled, because these things are nightmares to do on YouTube.
Malfurion versus Uther.
So all I can really do is add.
With honor. I must protect the wild.
I'm trying to add so that I have a bigger buffer. I'm not right now super focused on adding so I have more coming out. Speaking of things coming out, the YouTube gaming site came out, and as best as I can tell, if anybody was asked to do anything or convert an account or make a new account for YouTube gaming, it was not small fries like me, because I wasn't sent any emails or asked anything. If you search Rydo in YouTube gaming, of the people that come up by that name, I am there, and when you click on my name, you do see the YouTube gaming interface for what is my YouTube page, minus my support my channel button, which was weird, and I tried to Twitter them, YouTube gaming, about that, and they never responded. But like, that kind of sucks. If people really are going to start going to YouTube gaming, they should be able to click the button and donate if they want. It's very focused around streaming, and I might do one as an experiment, but it's highly unlikely I would get super into streaming. My thought here, and I'm not sure if this is against the spirit or the letter of the law, would be, and I'll just tell you straight up, I might do this, is take my pre-recorded videos that I have, play them through the software, and make it stream the recording. That way,
Job done.
I would be streaming, and people who are specifically on YouTube gaming who click the button just saying, I want to see what's streaming now, could see my videos, and I could catch more attention that way. And if I was personally doing that and I wasn't busy recording other videos, I could sit there then and focus on the chat, interact with people. Arguably, I should probably, if I was going to do that, put like a overlay on it saying pre-recorded video. I imagine it's going to be terrible video quality compared to what me just uploading the video is. It's going to be lesser video quality guaranteed, because it takes more than an hour to upload an hour worth of video. But there's definitely at least the thought that there are people on the internet that want that TV style viewing, where they just want to see what's on, they don't want to go searching phrases. And I wish it would be a great way to, it would be one way, maybe not a great way, but it would be a way at least to turn around and catch more people and re-promote videos. There really, in YouTube, there is no way to re-promote a video. It's just if it's getting a lot of views, a ton of views, like millions and millions of views, it might show up on their trending site searches if anybody goes search that. But almost everybody comes either from direct searches or recommended videos, and a video is recommended by YouTube's own cryptic algorithm that nobody knows how it works. Okay. Each player draws a card, or give each one a mana crystal. Or do I want to do this? Let's do this.
Ah, the great outdoors.
And each player gets a mana crystal. And then now we all have Death Rattle. Summon a 2/2 Trent. We kill this.
Well played.
We kill this. We kill this. We kill this. And we kill this.
Time waits for no one.
And then we take this and we attack here. And we'll just end our turn. That was an excellent combination of cards, if I do say so myself. I liked that play. I'm not sure if YouTube gaming's really gonna catch on or not. I'm not sure if Twitch really catches on or not. I saw people posting like, can I stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time? And as far as my understanding of it, absolutely not. The Twitch's terms of services at the very least says you cannot put the same footage up at the same time. There's no software reason why you can't do it. It's just I'm pretty sure that's what the terms of services say. As for YouTube, I'm not sure they care. Give your other minions +2/+2, or summon 2/2 Trents. We have 9 cards.
Give me a
this,
quest.
and then this, and then, well, do we want to attack with this or this? Let's attack here, and then
Time waits for no one.
attack here, if that works, and end the turn. I assume this is like resurrection. It's gonna bring him back or something like that. Oh man, he won! I wasn't paying attention to my own life. Oh boy, does that suck. Yeah, in the middle of recording too, I made a stupid mistake. I keep doing this, and I don't know really how to solve it. I thought I had solved it by locking my screen with a separate app, but I must have not locked the screen once, and I hit the OBS remote on my phone, and it moved the scene over to a different scene, so I recorded the end of Sam and Max, one of the episodes of Sam and Max,
the wild.
with no video. And on top of that, it auto-saved past the point where the last episode ended, so I had to go back and play the whole game up to the point where the last good episode ended again. So I played the game, the entire episode, twice in one day. It's not that hard, because if you know what you're doing and you skip through all the dialogue, you can do it in about 20 minutes. So if you know what you're doing in the entire episode, you can beat it
Job's done.
about 25, I'd say. Which is kind of the problem with those old point-and-click adventures in general is that they were all built around the concept of it was for people who hadn't played the game before, and were going to have to struggle and figure out how to play it. But for the people who have played the game before, they can just remember the right actions and get it done very easily, very fast. Since there's really not much, if any, skill involved in point-and-click adventures. And that's one of the many reasons why point-and-click adventures don't really work. Even when you talk like Broken Age, which was just made and released, although, well, it may be more accurate to say it was just released.
What to do?
At the end of the second half of it, since it was broken up into 2 parts, and there was a big delay between the releases, which is terrible, and not how you should release a game. But at the end, people are saying it was just too cryptic, and they couldn't figure out the solution. And when they finally found out the solution, it wasn't because of a satisfying realization. It was just because they, out of frustration, tried everything.
Death does not scare me.
So, even in the newest point-and-click adventure games, that's not really been solved as a problem of the game. And I don't know how you would really solve it. Every other style of games these days holds people's hands. It puts tons of thoughts into it. Like when we went through the developer commentary of Portal, and how they're talking about how they're training the player to do specific things, how they're specifically decorating rooms so you see the points where you're supposed to look. None of that is in point-and-click adventures, and if it was in point-and-click adventures, then the game would be terribly slow. I mean, not slow, short. It would just be,
Someone's out on me.
you'd beat the whole game really, really fast. I don't know if there is a way to get around it. Maybe that's why Telltale Games doesn't make point-and-click adventures anymore, is that they've realized, well, instead of having confusing combinations of items, we'll just go straight for the dialogue, which was the main part of most of the LucasArts and early Telltale games anyways. And maybe that is the truth of it. It's that all we were really interested in was dialogue. What do I want to do? We'll take this and kill this one.
Job done.
But then you get into the problem with the new Telltale games where the gameplay isn't super interesting. So even more, it's like they need to just focus on the dialogue if that's the only thing that's really there. And it would be nice if there was a different way you could think about dialogues. And I think The Witcher 3 in a lot of ways have some of that, where you can take the actions you take in dialogue trees have some actual responses, and the actions you take in fighting has some actual responses. And maybe that's, I don't know how you would do that in Game of Thrones. I could see it in Tales for the Borderlands. You could be fighting a lot of people with just the standard Borderlands game. Here's does 1 extra damage with her hero power, so I probably would want to get rid of that.
I've got a huge gun.
Go ahead and do that. Maybe that really is the solution. That instead of Telltale making their own games, what they should do is they should say, Gearbox, you made Borderlands. Why don't you make a just really, really small area with a few missions, so it is this tiny kind of demo of what the Borderlands game is, where you run around and you can only get to a max level 10 of your characters, and you only have like 5 skills instead of 60, and there's only a small amount of guns instead of a gun engine that just makes millions. And then what Telltale will do is they then throw in the dialogue part. They throw in the writing, they throw in the dialogue interaction things, and instead of going to just a vending machine to get new weapons, you have to go talk to somebody and deal with that. Maybe Telltale should just partner with people and do what they do best. And maybe it's not as much that they need to partner as it is they just need to hire people that are used to making first-person shooters and modern games of other styles. Because you could take what is good about Telltale and put it in a lot of games.
You smell like a leopard.
Almost every game. Simple platformers. If the main character in the simple platformer had a few scenes where it had dialogue conversations, and that changed things just a little bit and made it more interesting, but the core of the gameplay was completely different, that's not really that big of a problem. And then that might work rather well. Return all characters to full health. Summon a 3/2 Panther. Stealth, spell damage +1. Death Rattle, shuffle into your deck.
I have returned.
Why do these only cost 0? Give my minion +1/+1. Restore all characters to full health. Let's do it. There we go. 30/30. In turn. It'll take him a little bit longer to beat me. I think after this game we'll just stop this episode. It's probably not been super long. As I look at the clock, it's been 38 minutes, which is longer than the 30 minutes I normally do for every other series, but kind of short for a Hearthstone series. But it seems like we'll go 2 episodes, if not 3, on this. Eventually you'll get to see what my new decks are, but you can just go see the deck rebuilds. I haven't changed anything yet, and I need some more just absorbing time. I need to play some games, take a break, and subconsciously absorb what I saw other people play, and that's probably giving me way too much credibility. Let's see.
I'll take some of that.
So, copy your opponent's hero power. Well, how come that didn't work? Because it was used? Interesting, that seems like a bug. Oddly enough, yeah, it's because it's used.
For the ancients.
That makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense.
For the ancients.
For the wild.
Job done.
This still should have copied the hero power. I should have had Fire Blast, and it didn't give me Fire Blast. That's bugged. We have found a bug. This is... Wish you could right click on cards and see if they're Grand Tournament or Goblins vs. Gnomes cards. I can pretty much guarantee this is a Grand Tournament card. And it just didn't work.
The might of Dalaran has arrived.
Like, it's not saying the battle cry even activated as far as that, but I don't know if it ever does that. Do I have any beasts? Here's a beast.
Take a walk on the wild side.
Job's done.
There we go. How many cards do we have left? It's according to this, it says we have... You have 19 cards according to Hearthstone. He has 16. According to the Hearthstone deck tracker, it says 2 and 17. Which probably means this is wrong, would be my guess. Maybe I sent 2 cards back into the deck, and so 17 is actually the number I've drawn, and 3 seems to be the number in our hand. Interesting. Death Rattle, add 3 copies of Arcane Missile to your hand. No thanks. Let's get rid of this guy.
Born to be wild.
For the wild.
Now if I was gonna really win here, I need to figure out a way to get him to draw his 15 cards and several more. Probably 7 on top of that, so 22 cards. And I don't see with a mage deck how he's gonna do that. Darn it. I'm down to 8 life. I wish one of my quests was kill minions or cast spells or something. Anything really. There we go. Well, I'm not really progressing. Didn't really make any progress today. Not at all. So we need Druid wins and we need Tavern Brawls. So should I go one more game? Let me look at the clock. Nah. We'll say that's this episode, and we'll just start back up next episode doing the same thing. That's it for this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.